What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So we're in the garage working on the car. I mentioned in the last video that we've been having some issues with this project. So the new suspension has arrived, and the issues are with the old suspension getting it off the car. On one side here, the bolts are just so rusted on. I've never seen anything like it before, but it's been days. Been trying to get them off. I've tried everything. So today, while I'm getting the car on the ramps, the jack, all that stuff, I'm gonna throw in some clips from the last few days of me trying to get this thing off of here. The goal today is to get it off. I don't care what I gotta do. It's coming off today. It's gonna rain, I think, but we're gonna try to get as much done as we can. So yeah, I'm gonna toss in the clips and I'll get the car up on the jacks and then we will go from there. All right, so as I said, the car's on the jack already. We already kind of piddled around with it a little bit. There was some rust here and I wanted to grind that off, so I grinded that off. We sprayed some degreaser up in here and sprayed it out and cleaned it because there was still some stuff over in here and the dust and everything from the rust. So wanted to get that taken care of. And I'm not sure if they pulled or rolled the fenders from before, but there was some rust forming right here. So I'm assuming that wasn't done right, I don't know, but we grinded that off as well. So we're just waiting for this all to dry in here now. We're trying to get it done as quickly as we can today because I'm really excited to open up that suspension and see how it looks and get it installed and get rid of this wheel gap because it is atrocious. I will say that now that the diffuser and the bumper are back on, it is back to being kind of a pain to jack this thing up. Not really a pain, but you have to be really careful. I wish I had some wooden things to drive up onto, but as some of you may or may not know, wood right now is insane. All right, we're on the other side now. I'd already done pretty much all I wanted to do on this side except for the fender part. And I'm just putting this tape on there because if you see, when I look this way, it's very hard to tell what I'm doing. So I just watch that line on the tape and make sure I'm not going past that. And yeah, we should be able to clean this up in just a matter of minutes. Now, I know I'm just jumping into this and doing this, but this is making me extremely anxious and I don't want to mess anything up. In my head, I just want to take care of it and get it over with. So I'm gritting my teeth through the anxiety and just holding my breath and grinding it away. So here we go on this side. Whew, all right, got that done. There wasn't really much on this side. The other side was a lot worse. Very glad of that. Got that all taken care of now. I'm gonna wipe that off, clean it with some degreaser, and we'll spray some stuff on there to keep it sealed up from the metal being exposed, and move on. I suppose now is just as good a time as any. If I haven't changed the title of the video yet, I will show you what suspension we're putting on the car. I am super excited to have this company on the car. The shop that I used to take the car to many years ago, their cars were always there, and so, but I already had Cusco stuff on there, so now, years later, we're finally putting on some suspension from them, and it is Fortune Auto Baby. I am super excited about this. These are hand-built coilovers. They also sent me some goodies, so I want to open that up and see what's in that. But I already kind of pulled the tape up on this, but oh yeah, we got license plate frame. We got the certificate of assembly. Wow. All right. Very cool. Got the tools in there. Got a lanyard. Nice. And now let's unwrap one of these and see what we got here. Oh baby. Looky there. Looky there. Oh, this is a rear one, so super nice. All right, while still in the meantime, let's unbox this real quick. All right, let's see what we got here. Get the plastic out of there. Oh, we got stickies. Hat, super sick. Been wanting another hat. Got a t-shirt. Very nice. Put that there. Oh damn, we got a hoodie? This is crazy nice. Feels super soft. A bunch of lanyards. awesome. Oh man, huge shout out to the guys at Fortune Auto. I appreciate that so much. I am very thankful they sent the gear out to me, hooked me up with the coilovers, all this. It's so rad, and again, I am very, very appreciative. I cannot wait to put this stuff on. As soon as this bolt finishes soaking, we should be able to throw this rear on, get the car back on the ground, see how it looks. I'm not going to be able to set the rad height entirely right now because I don't have the wheels I want, but we should at minimum be able to slam it down a little bit and get rid of that wheel gap.
Moments later.
Alright, it's been 2 hours and I'm still working on the bolts. They are welded on there. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I've tried heat. That makes me a little sketchy because they are coilovers and I don't know how they're going to react. You know, they're old, but suspension and the gas and all that stuff in there, the oils and everything, I just don't know. I don't want to heat those things up very much. But we're working on it. We're getting there. It's starting to kind of wiggle a little bit, but it's just not breaking free. They're just rusted and seized on there. I mean, really, really bad. So we'll keep working, see what we got, and keep moving forward.
More moments later.
I'm out of options. I am tired of fucking with this thing. It's coming off this time. I don't care what has to happen. At least one of them is. You know what? This is taking so long that I'm not even excited by it. I'm just like, yeah, you should have came off. Like, you're supposed to come off. This is the bolt. The one that came loose was the one that is closest to the brake rotor, not the one that holds the coilover on. So it's a step in the right direction, but I really can't get the coilover one off. Oh, that sweet sound of bolts threading. Oh, I'm pumped on the inside, but I'm just over these bolts here. God, look at the funk on that. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but God. Alright, so the car's up and ready to go. I'm gonna just start working on this thing. I'm gonna cut it. There's no, I mean, I'm to the point now to where it needs to be cut. There's nothing else I can do to it. So I'm gonna get grinding on that. I'm probably not gonna show a whole lot of it, but I will explain everything at the end of this. But right now, I just wanna get this thing off of here and be done with it. So here we go. Okay, so an hour later, on top of the hours you've already spent on this thing, I finally got it off. I mentioned it earlier, but I have never seen anything like this before. We stripped out the entire threads on this thing. It is smooth and round from the impact driver. We used it so long, but yeah, that was stripped out, so we couldn't really get a grip on it. I had cut all the way through this bolt almost, and it was still, this nut was still just locked on there, seized on there. I don't know how, but I finally used this little guy, and I just clamped it, and I was pulling with everything I had, and it finally broke. This part broke off, and I finally could unthread it a little bit, and then I ultimately had to squeeze it again and grab the back of this thing and just pull it straight off. But I ordered some new hardware, and it's already here, so we're all good to go on that. But again, I've never seen anything like that, being cut almost all the way off and all the way through and still would not come off. All right, so that bolt's out of there now. I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting the old coilover off, and yeah, when I'm done getting this off, I'll explain the whole process that we're doing here. This should be super quick. This should not be taking this long, but that bolt really held us up. But it's out of the way now, so hopefully this goes smoother. All right, the coilover is on. I'm gonna go ahead and explain everything I've done here. This is all super easy stuff, but there are 2 bolts on top. You loosen those up, but do not take them all the way off yet, and I'll explain why. Okay, so down here, there are 2 bolts. This is the one that was giving me the issues, but this connects the suspension or the coilover to the suspension arm. You can take this out, but the coilover will not come out because this U-shape, there's not enough space to get it in and out. I think stock suspension works the same way, but theoretically, I guess, if you had coilovers already on the car and you were putting new ones on it, you could just shorten the coilover and get it out. But mine were so old, so rusty, I couldn't do that. And so I think that's why with stock suspension, you can't shorten that. So this is the same process there. But you remove this bolt here, and that will allow the suspension arm to drop down. Then you can get the coilover out, which is also why you don't remove those top 2 bolts first, because if you do, it'll all come falling out. So take off this bolt, take off that bolt, this arm will fall down. Then you can grab the coilover or the suspension with your hand and then take off those top 2 bolts and you pull it right out, you're good to go. I think that's why it was so frustrating, was because it's super quick, but if you can't get those bolts out, you can't go nowhere. So I hope the front is not nearly as bad as this. So cross your fingers. So I cleaned up the rear inner fenders, but this one was cracked and broken and all this other stuff. And I thought, you know what, I'm ordering these bolts and everything, so I might as well order those too. So we got some new of those, so I'm gonna toss those on as well. I went ahead and tossed the other one on, and we let it down, and this thing is dumped now. It should be fine. This is pretty much stock wheel size, so it's not gonna rub or anything. But if there is such a thing, this is a little too low for me. Especially when I get the wheels I want on here. They're gonna be a little bit wider, so I'll have to raise it up anyway. But for right now, I think it'll work, it'll be okay. We'll throw the fronts on there, and then we can adjust it after that. But yeah, that's slammed. All right, we're going to the front now, and I got my little rampardoos under there, and that's already kind of close, honestly, and that's really high. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the front bumper, because that's the last thing I want to do is 1, crack that, or 2, have to worry about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off, and we will get it jacked up after that. Okay, we got it off, and the good part now also is I don't have to use those ramps, so I can just put the jack under there, jack it up, and it should be good. So I'm gonna get it up in the air, and I think I'll do the passenger side first and go from there. Oh man, I was nervous, but I got them out. I just took the air gun and the impact gun. I turned one on forward and one on reverse, and I guess going both opposite ways was enough to break him free. It did take quite a bit of work from the machines to do that, but they are, I mean, these things are so cruddy. I am probably going to order some more of these. Not right now, but I want to get the suspension on there and be done with it, but I will change these out, because this is pretty bad. And I'm going to soak these in gasoline and get them cleaned up a little bit. And yeah, we're going to remove the strut tower now. We got both bolts out. We got to do the ones up in the top here, and then it should fall right out. So we'll do that and throw on the Fortune. Okay, got it on. I tried to show everything I've done there. You don't have to use that little jack. I just use it to help me kind of like get the hub aligned and everything with the holes on the coilover itself. But pretty simple when the bolts come off first couple tries. Got that on there taken care of, and I've already switched over to the other side to let those bolts soak. I've got the top nut off already, and we're waiting on the bottom one to kind of finish soaking because it wasn't wanting to come off. But yeah, we are moving along now. And as I say that, I'm hearing some rumbling in the distance, so I'm not sure if a storm is coming, but you can never tell in Florida, so we'll just continue to work for as long as we can. Alright, so the last bolt on the front suspension is giving me the same issues as the last bolt on the rear suspension. It's been almost an hour working on this bolt, and it's not wanting to budge. So the sun is going down, it's going to be dark soon, so what's one more day at this point? So I will pick back up on this tomorrow, and so yeah. One more day.
Tomorrow for sure.
Alright, it's a new day. I wasn't really sure what to do. The PB Blast is not working. It's not breaking it free. So I got some liquid wrench. It's kind of the same thing, but who knows, it could be stronger. So we're going to soak it in this for a little bit and see what happens. Well, I bought this nut splitter as like a last resort type of thing, but this thing is a piece of garbage. So the part that's supposed to dig into the nut and split it has bent. I tried to adjust this little screw on the side. I turned it half a turn and the head of it broke off. So this thing's a piece of junk. But this is the last resort. I finally just said the hell with it and went and got a corded Dremel. I should have done this a long time ago. Alright, so here we are an hour later. No joke. We almost cut all the way through on the bolt, and we cut the half off again on this thing. So this was the one in the back that gave me all the trouble. This one's still kind of shiny and stuff, so this one was pretty rusty and corroded on there. I think it was just stuck on the hub in there, so that was a gigantic pain in the ass, but I have never seen anything quite like that. But we got it out, and so now we're just going to throw the coilover on there, and we are going to adjust some things, and we should be good to go. Alright, so here we are, the final coilover, the big sexy Fortunato business. I already adjusted the other side, but what I do is I go take a tape measure and I go from this part right here, the bottom of this, and then I measure down to the very, very top of this right here. So right now we're at about 3 3/4, which is exactly where I had it on the other side. This has nothing to do with the actual ride height of the car. This is just a reference point, so you can get both sides the same. So let's throw this thing on and get it off the jacks and see how she looks. Alright, we're back here in the rear again. I'm going to adjust these coilovers. So it's pretty much the same with every coilover. You loosen this top little collar here, and then they give you a little wrench and it hooks right here, and you just tighten it or loosen it, and that goes up and down. Everything will spin, and that's how you adjust the height. I'm going to use the same measurement technique as I did before, from the bottom of this to the top of the coilover collar there, and that should get our height for both sides, and we should be good after that. Alright, we got it back on there now, and that is perfect for me. I raised it up a full inch in the back, so we're 4 3/4 on the rear and 3 3/4 on the front. I kind of wanted it to have that kind of track stance where it kind of has like a rake to it, with the fronts a little bit lower. And I love that. I got it sitting on the blocks now just to make sure that I like the height of it, and that's perfect. So whenever it settles a little bit, it might drop a little bit more, but that should do me for now. Oh yeah, I wanted to add real fast, in case you were curious, the coilovers are the 500 series coilovers. I am running the 10K springs as suggested to me. That is based on how I drive the car and how I use the car. I mainly drive on the street with the occasional spirited drive. And the possible track day in the future, who knows? But yeah, that's the setup right now, and I have a feeling it's gonna ride as good as it looks. All right, so I might look a little different, but we had another monsoon come through at the end of the day yesterday, so yeah, I had to call it quits then. I know I work in the garage here, but when it rains in Florida, it freaking rains. And it normally comes like right in the garage door and gets everything wet like halfway into the garage. So I normally just stop. But I just wanted to say, whew, damn, what a project. It was so worth it in the end though. I mean, aside from it looking much, much better, it literally had to be done. For the car to be drivable, in my opinion. And I know this video might be all over the place, but I really wanted to show as much of the struggles and setbacks as I could. And speaking of that, we're still waiting on the bolt for the front that we cut off. I had to kind of order that on the fly, so we can't drive it just yet. But I wanted to show the reality of working on cars sometimes. A project that should take 4 hours can turn into days very quickly. It can be frustrating, it's challenging, you're forced to come up with solutions on the fly sometimes, but that feeling you get when you step back and you see it and it's all done and the finished product is there, I think that's what draws us all to this kind of thing. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to Fortune Auto for all the goods. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks as always, and I will catch you in the next one. I've got a couple little tiny things left to take care of, but then we can take it out for like a first drive for the suspension and see how it feels and all that good stuff. So, drop a comment down below on what you think, or if you run Fortune coils as well. And while you're down there, don't forget to do all the other YouTube things. It does help out a bunch. It's only a couple clicks and it's free for you to do. I will see you guys next time. Bye.